Have you ever wondered about the stories behind the vibrant Japanese-American communities we see today? It's a journey of incredible hope, heartbreaking hardship, and unbreakable resilience that began over a century ago. Let's dive into this powerful piece of American history. It all started in the late 1800s, with the first wave of Japanese immigrants, known as the Issei. They were mostly young men, full of ambition, leaving behind economic hardship in Japan for the promise of America, the land of opportunity. They came to work on sugar plantations in Hawaii and farms on the West Coast, dreaming of earning money and one day returning home as wealthy men. They worked tirelessly, taking on the toughest jobs in agriculture, logging, and on the railroads. But the American dream wasn't always welcoming. As the Japanese population grew, so did fear and prejudice. Anti-Asian sentiment, which had previously targeted Chinese immigrants, now turned towards the Japanese. People called it the Yellow Peril, and it led to discriminatory laws and social hostility. It became so intense that in 1907, the United States and Japan signed the Gentlemen's Agreement. This wasn't a friendly deal. It was a policy where Japan agreed to stop issuing passports to laborers wanting to go to America, effectively halting new immigration. However, there was a loophole. The agreement allowed the wives and children of immigrants already in the U.S. to join them. This led to the fascinating phenomena of picture brides. Japanese men in America would exchange photographs with women in Japan, and through their families, arrange a marriage. These brave women would then journey across the Pacific to meet their new husbands, often for the very first time. It was a huge gamble, but it was these women who helped transform the temporary settlements of laborers into permanent, thriving communities. They built families, started businesses, and laid down roots. These communities flourished. The Issei and their American-born children, the Nisei, turned barren land into fertile farms. They built Japantowns with their own schools, temples, and newspapers. They were becoming an essential part of the American fabric, but the darkest chapter was yet to come. After the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, everything changed. Fueled by war hysteria and long-standing racism, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066. This order authorized the forced removal and incarceration of over 120,000 people of Japanese ancestry, two-thirds of whom were American citizens from the West Coast. Families were given just days to sell their homes, businesses, and belongings for pennies on the dollar. They could only bring what they could carry. They were herded onto trains and buses and sent to desolate, barbed wire internment camps in remote parts of the country. They lived in crude barracks, under constant surveillance, their freedom stolen from them. Despite this profound injustice, many Japanese Americans sought to prove their loyalty to the United States. Thousands of young Nisei men volunteered to fight for the country that had imprisoned their families. They served in the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, which became one of the most decorated units in U.S. military history for its size and length of service. Their bravery and sacrifice on the battlefields of Europe were a powerful statement against the prejudice they faced back home. When the war ended and the camps closed, Japanese Americans returned to find their lives shattered. Their homes and businesses were gone and they had to start over from scratch, often facing continued hostility. But with the same determination that brought them across the ocean, they rebuilt. They focused on education, worked hard, and quietly, resiliently re-established their lives and communities. Decades later, in 1988, the U.S. government formally apologized for the internment and provided reparations to the survivors. It was a long overdue acknowledgement of a grave injustice. Today, the legacy of Japanese immigration is a story of incredible contribution to American society, culture, and economy. It's a reminder of how immigrants enrich a nation, but also a stark warning about the dangers of prejudice and fear. Their journey, from the first hopeful arrivals to the generations that followed, is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as moving and important as I did, please give this video a like and subscribe to the History Vault for more deep dives into history. See you next time.